What's up, guys? This is Storm, and welcome to another episode of Storm Gaming News Week. We got a lot of news to cover, so without further ado, let's get on with the news. An article was written up from The Verge by Tom Warren that was talking about how people felt internally at Xbox about Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer plan, how they went about running the Xbox division. And these are the bullet points from his article. It said Xbox Anywhere was Sarah's Bond plan. This is an Xbox ad was her idea and offended many internally. Writing on the wall for Sarah and Phil to leave, people internally relieved that Sarah Bond is gone. And I'm not gonna lie, how the article is portrayed and stuff, it feels sound like she was used as a scapegoat, and I don't appreciate that when it comes to Sarah Bond and stuff, because when she was pointed in a higher level inside the Xbox division, a lot of people kind of saw this written on the wall, and stuff would go wrong. She was gonna take the fall for it, or she would take most of the blame for it and stuff. And by the looks of this article from Tom Warren, that definitely looks like to be the case, and it's really not right, because like she was doing the work that she was given and stuff. And I believe this whole thing, like, Phil Spencer actually started before she even got into the position. At least that's what I saw. Some people posted like different articles saying as such. So this whole thing with Tom Warren coming out talking about Sarah Bond, it really paint her in a bad look. Especially when you look at Satya Nadella put out like a statement about Phil Spencer leaving and the new person taking his spot and stuff, and Matt Booty getting promoted. Not once he mentioned Sarah Bond in his statement, which is really crazy. And I don't think she was there when they had like this whole video thing of Phil Spencer passing on the title to the person that was replacing and stuff, because Phil Spencer last day at the head of the Xbox division was this past Monday. So I do hope Sarah Bond is getting what she deserves in a better position and stuff. It's just really crazy that it really feels like she's being used as a scapegoat. That is really feel that way, and it really sucks. Like, yeah, could she have done a better job? Yeah, anybody can. Like, but just to have her take the full fault of how Xbox is being run right now is really crazy to me. Summer Game Fest is set to return on June 5th of 2026. It's going to run from the 5th to the 8th in June. There will be featured new game announcements, world premieres, exclusive gameplay, plus more. And of course, Jeff Keighley will be the host of this. So, what are you guys hoping to see at the Summer Game Fest? There are a couple games I'm hoping that will make an appearance for this. Like, for example, what's going on with the updated, give us an update on the Iron Man game, what's going on with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, Darksiders 4, I could kind of see a new trailer for GTA 6 appearing here, maybe Naughty Dog Intergalactic, basically a bunch of games. So I'm hoping to see what can we get from this and stuff. So if you're excited, look forward to it and mark your calendars for June 5th. A fan asked, was there any possible chance that Saints Row could make a possible return? And he got a response who I believe to be a developer of the Saints Row franchise. This was the conversation between them went. He asked, "What a funny coincidence then. This is why I love Saints Row. It just sucks that the last canon game was released a decade ago." Chris BPG responded by saying, "Yes, and honestly, I think the franchise is dead. Unfortunately, I get the sense that Embracer has zero ability to do anything with it. I wish things were different. I try my best to offer a path forward, but they've ghosted me." So basically, Saints Row is more than likely never is going to come back, especially what happened to the last game that released and stuff that sold horribly and was ridiculed from the high heavens by the fans and stuff. So I also believe it did Embracer shut down the studio that made the Saints Row games. Possibly it because the main problem with the Saints Row they it was just too goofy. Like yeah, like um Saints Row do have some goofy moments and stuff, but it leaned too heavy into it. Like fans of the series said, like the first two was very serious, that focused on actual gangs and all that, and I believe the third one was a it was serious, but at the same time a little bit goofy, I believe. And after that, it just went all downhill with all the goofiness, like so. And that kind of retrospect, it kind of their fault not going back to what made Saints Row so popular and stuff. But of course, the comparison would be like with GTA and stuff, and that'd be like a hard fight for Saints Row to go up against. So it's unfortunate that it looks like the franchise is never gonna come back and stuff, but it definitely is unfortunate. Like there are probably fans that love Saints Row to the high heavens and stuff, and they're probably just devastated that they will most likely never get another one ever because Embracer wants a game to hit, and since that wasn't Saints the last Saints Row, they pretty much gave up on it and moving on to a different franchise to work on. And I believe currently they're working on the John Wick one, John Wick game. I believe that's being worked on. No, that's Saber. Embracer is a different group. My bad. So I don't know what could be Embracer be working on, to be honest. But we'll probably see at some point what they got going on because yeah, you got summer game fest coming on, so they could make an appearance there to show the world what they have been working on. The co-founder of Xbox, Seamus Blackley, came out to talk about what's going on and what is Microsoft could be possibly doing in the future now they got new leadership and all that. He said he believed Microsoft gaming brand is being sunsetted and that its new CEO has been brought in as a palliative care doctor who slides Xbox gently into the night, which I believe is a wild comment. Everybody went crazy on social media that the co-founder of Xbox believed that the Microsoft might shut down the Xbox division. But a day later, he came out and basically tried to clean up what he said. The next day, his statement that he made with Xbox being sunsetted, he said this. No, I love Xbox more than literally anyone. This is killing me, but I know a lot about organizations and business now. And I was being honest, not a PR asshole. Blank, the distress, it's Xbox and kills me, haunts me, but progress requires introspection and realism. Learning is pain. I'm beyond when I asked question by an old friend, blank, he didn't give a name. It's literally something I nearly died to bring into existence. Seeing it struggle being unable to act is hard. It's difficult wall to scale because it's games. One thing that I learned across my career is that everyone believes that they're a game developer. Everyone thinks they're a game designer. There's something about games. When you play them, they seem so effortless. There's an assumption that anyone can do it. Asha, which is the new CEO who took over Phil Spencer's position, he said her statement in there about how she figured it out reminds me a lot of that. I've been around a lot of that. I had Bill Gates say that to me. I had Steven Spielberg say that to me. I had a lot of really smart people say basically that line to me. Asha is coming to games because her boss believes that games are going to be driven by AI. It's very different. Blink is a very different approach. You can tell that they're really serious about games being fixed by AI because Madame Doth protests so much about how they're not going to make slop is all human control. For anyone over a certain age with a certain amount of business experience, you can recognize those words what they are. So, what it sounds like to me, he's not backtracking what he says. He being realistic. He not being a PR asshole. He's not feeding to the console war. This is how he truly feels. And to be honest, like what he says could actually bring up concerns because the whole shift to AI, and she was the head of an AI division at Microsoft, and Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft, seems to be leading that way heavily. And stuff is basically a slow burn. So in retrospect, it is kind of believable what he's saying, in my opinion. But yeah, it is a crazy thing to think about because, like, out of all people, why she got brought on, like, especially when people saw that she didn't really have that much of a gaming background, which, in my opinion, you don't really need a background in gaming to do this kind of job, in my opinion, and stuff. But it definitely helped when you're speaking out to the community and stuff, in my opinion, because this community will listen more to somebody that plays games than just somebody who works for the corporation. That's why Phil Spencer was so beloved by the Xbox community, because he played games and he was the CEO of the Xbox division. Now that he's gone and people are going to her because she put out a statement that she hears you when people was asking if she could make Xbox games exclusive again. But the thing is, the decision does not fall on her. The bottom line is it goes to Satya Nadella. If she, let's say she wants to make Xbox games exclusive, right? She would need to convince Satya Nadella why they want to go back to making their games exclusive. I know he pretty much seen all the money that they made of putting their games to other devices like PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo. He probably seen those numbers. So he's like, I like these numbers. I want to keep having them. And the whole thing that Xbox game need to make a 3% margin and stuff, that could put a lot of pressure on the devs and all that. So, but like we all say, she just got on. It's still way early for her to really do anything. So we just gotta wait and see what she does for the coming future when it comes to the Xbox division. It's kind of interesting because I don't think they put out an announcement of a June Xbox event to show off their upcoming games. I don't think that was announced yet. So we'll see if they'll have one again today. In the for the summer and stuff. It's just kind of interesting. They haven't said anything about that yet because usually after their developer direct, they would like say something. But it's probably gonna be later. They're probably gonna say something since they're doing this whole CEO transfer of power and all that. So we'll see what happens in the coming months. Guerrilla Games have put out a statement that they are having a Horizon Hunter Gatherings playtest that you'll be able to register on PS5 and Steam to try out. Uh, as the time of this recording, emails are going out for all the people that registered. The playtest will run from February 27th to March 1st. So if you're interested of giving the game a try to basically get a feel of it, give some feedback and stuff like that, you definitely can. I am kind of is interesting they decided to do this on the release date of Resident Evil 9. I think a lot of people will probably be on Resident Evil 9 than this, but that's just me. It's only for the test only lasts for over the weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to get into it and stuff. I did register, so we'll see what happens. I am curious, will they allow people to record gameplay of it and post it online? But we'll see. Xbox CEO had an interview with Windows Central. They had like 15 minutes, I believe, to ask her some questions about the future of Xbox and what she's planning to do. And one of the questions that was asked about her multi-platform release strategy when it comes to putting their Xbox games on multiple devices like PC, PlayStation, Nintendo, mobile, streaming, and all that jazz. She said, "We're going to keep meeting players where they are. The pl- the plan's the plan until it's not the plan." So she basically is saying we're going to keep doing this strategy until it's no longer the plan they want to follow. So I see multiple different people looked at this interview basically saying like it's still gonna be released their games on multiple platforms. Some say it's only gonna be like not definitive that's gonna be their future. They're probably gonna be at some point they're gonna stop doing it and stuff. Honestly, I just take it as this is what they're doing until um, they don't do it anymore. And Matt Booty said, "Do not expect any drastic changes and stuff." So, like her statement, like giving out people hope and stuff, like Xbox will go back to making exclusive games, which is kind of funny to me because not too long ago the Xbox fan base said exclusives were bad. So now that she's saying all this, now they saying they want exclusive, which is kind of crazy. How can you say exclusives was bad at one point, but now you want them to come back again? Like it's always something with the fanboys. It doesn't matter what platform you play on. They don't. They always switched up where it only benefit them. Like it's really crazy, but it is what it is. But yeah, like Matt Bowie said, do not expect any crazy changes that from their strategy and stuff. So far, they're making money from the strategy they have currently going on, and it sounds like she wants to bring that focus to the consoles and stuff. So we'll see how that turns out. But as of right now, the strategy is still gonna be the same. Bungie has dropped Marathon SummerSlam that's currently going on right now that ends on March 2nd. But they gave some details on Marathon and what Bungie's plan to do of keeping a steady community. One of them is they said if a player is caught cheating, they're banned forever. There's no second chance. This is what they had to say. We are taking a strong stance against cheating, and everyone found to be cheating or developing cheats will be permanently banned from playing Marathon forever. No second chance. Which is, I 100% agree, and that should be a lesson for all developers who are doing games like this. They also said like they will have dedicated servers, server-side authority over key actions to reduce exploits, fog or war to limit wall hacks and loot revealers, disconnect recovery in case anybody loses connection, and of course the no second chance on cheaters. This is pretty awesome and stuff. I will definitely want to try Marathon. Hopefully I could get a crew together and stuff. But we'll see what happens. I have until May 2nd to give it a try. But so far, looking at the Steam, Marathon is over 100,000 people playing right now. So, which is our pretty good numbers. Hopefully, people like the server slam enough. They will try out Marathon when it releases next month. The studio that's behind the beloved Simpsons Hit and Run and the Prototype series is making a return. Studio Radical Entertainment have miraculously made a comeback, and it looks like they're planning something, either making a brand new game or could be like porting or remastering some of their old games to the current platforms and stuff. It's up in the air at this point, but a lot of fans are truly excited. I'm kind of curious, will we get a Prototype 3? Because I vaguely remember there was a rumor going around about that, but we don't know for sure, so we'll keep a close eye on what the studio has in store for the fans. This statement had me scratch my head when I first saw it. It's from Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. And he said Phil Spencer's sudden retirement was not planned. He goes into further to say, I've been past something that again reiterates to me, I'm not going to read it, but like it reiterates, oh no, this was not planned. So when I hear that he said that Phil Spencer retirement was not planned, in a way, to some extent, I kind of agree, only because like how it happened all sudden. Like I knew Phil Spencer was gonna retire at some point. I just didn't believe he was gonna retire this early, especially during the year that's supposed to be Xbox 25th anniversary. So it's like, why would he retire before the anniversary and stuff? So it's like, it felt really weird to me when I first heard that he was retiring. Like, it wasn't like for his health or something deal with a family. He just randomly, like, before he even made a statement, articles came out saying that he announced he was being retired. He's retiring and stuff. So it's like, what? So I don't know what was given to Greg Miller to feel that way. Me personally, just because it's the 25th anniversary for Xbox this year, and the announcement of his retirement felt so abrupt, and with Sarah Bond leaving and stuff, it definitely gave me a head scratcher. Like, what is happening and stuff. So, granted, I could be wrong about how I feel about this. Honestly, it just, I don't know. It just felt very off and very calculated how this was presented. Once again, I could be totally wrong how I feel about this. Maybe he just wants to retire. There's no shame in that. It was just the timing of the news of it and stuff that gave me pause for a second when it happened. We have the PlayStation Plus games for the month of March. You get 2K25 Golf, Slime Rancher 2, Monster Hunter Rise, and Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road Collection. Not a bad month. I play Monster Hunter Rise. I own that game. Not really into golf. Don't know what Slime Rancher is. I might check that out. And the Elder Scrolls, I have a couple of friends who are fans of the Elder Scrolls franchise and stuff, so it's a meh month for me, but this month could be good for others and stuff, so those are the games that you're getting for the month of March. WB Games has teased a major release of its portfolio set to release in 2027 and 2028. The comment read, the real fruits will start coming in 2027 and 2028 when we return to some of our biggest franchises, said WB Games CEO JB Peretti. So, what could this potentially mean? We could be getting a return of the Batman Arkham games, Mortal Kombat, maybe Injustice. There's a lot of games that WB have and stuff, and IPs that they could definitely make a game. Also, definitely Hogwarts Legacy. That could be something that they got going, because they definitely need this after the fail of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, their games as a service game, and also the cancel of Wonder Woman that was announced in 2021 or 2022, one of those years at the Game Awards. That was announced and it got canceled. So I would not be surprised if they go back to the Batman Arkham games and stuff. So maybe they could probably make a new one or remastered Arkham Origins or something. Me personally, if they do go back to the Arkham games, me personally, I would want them to do a solo game focused on either Nightwing or Red Hood. Or if they want to go back to doing if they want to do a multiplayer type of Batman Arkham game, I don't know how they messed up with Gotham Knights. I'm still confused about that, because they literally had the blueprint for Arkham from the Arkham games combat. They literally had the blueprint, so I don't know why they didn't implement that into Arkham Knight and make an overall better story. Jesus Christ. But yeah, they could probably take another crack at that, but this time do the gameplay and story a lot better and stuff. Or maybe give the game what everybody wanted, a freaking Batman Beyond game. Me personally, I would take a Static Shock game, but that's just me. Or they could probably do one with with Peacemaker and Combat Commandos from their anime series that they have done. So there's a lot of things that WB games could do and stuff. I think currently the only game they have that's coming out is the Lego Batman and supposedly Wolf Among Us 2, but we have not heard anything from that, so it's up in the air when that's gonna come out, but we'll see what happens. Overwatch Mobile game is being developed by a dedicated team at Blizzard. It's a top-down shooter designed specifically for mobile, set in the Overwatch universe. By the looks of it, it plays like the regular Overwatch game, but it's just top-down, I guess. Don't know if people will hop in to play this for long term. I could definitely see people trying this out, but of course, we gotta wait and see how well this performance stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna try it because I don't really play games like that on my phone. But we'll see what happens. It's Overwatch, so most likely the dedicated fans of Overwatch will give this a try. But we'll see how it expands in the wider market. We got some hands-on previews with the Life is Strange reunion. These are the bullet points that was said during the previews. It says storytelling so far is noticeably better than we've seen from Life is Strange previously. You can pick a specific set of outcomes from the first game at the start. Gameplay hops between Max and Chloe in the story. Sense of urgency, a melancholic vibe to everything. Don't know what that means. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Music, character interactions, etc. make it feel like the final, darkest chapter. Excellent facial expressions plus performance. One previewer said, "I'm happy to report that I'm in my time with it." Nobody said hella. Bringing back Max rewiring power was the right choice. It feels more natural. Some challenging puzzles. Playing as Chloe, our playing as Chloe, her backtalk mechanic also returns. If you pick save Arcadia ending in Life is Strange 1 is not something Chloe remembers at the start and is a mystery. Chloe current memories are Max from other Chloe died, and Chloe sees Max in visions involving the original games of Lighthouse. Safi is also present. Chloe return doesn't feel rushed or in favor of fan service tied to the events that double exposure set in motion. One section sees Max and Loretta trapped in a basement as a building demolition is about to happen, where Max can rewind time to disable the charges. When Max and Chloe are both on screen, you make choices for both characters. Sketches of Max and Chloe appear above dialogue options, and the character that choice impacts will be highlighted. Music, visuals, and environmental storytelling suggest that Life is Strange is firing on all cylinders so far, and the world of Reunion feels more alive than ever. Alright, that was a lot, but by the sound of it, going off from what some previewers are saying, this could be the right push for the Life is Strange, and like they said, they could be fire off all cylinders. So, it just make fans happy hearing this stuff and possibly seeing it. Who to tell? In the end, is up to their choice if they like the game or not. But so far, by the looks of it, it could be a fun game. If I remember right, this game is set to release around March. So people are most likely going to be waiting for reviews to drop to see if it's the game that they want. But I'm hoping the game does well and stuff, because we need games like this. I'm not really into the whole you decide what happens stuff. I'm not like into those type of games, but people are, and we do need variety in gaming and stuff. So this is definitely could be a really good push if this game does really well in the end. We gotta end off this video with Insomniac dropping the official release date for Marvel Wolverine for September 15th of this year. And this was a big old surprise for a random Tuesday morning. And a lot of people are wondering why they dropped this now. Like, then wasn't there like a state of play last week that they could have revealed it there? But of course, Insomniac have said before the state of play they wasn't gonna be there, and the next info that Wolverine was gonna be shown was gonna be the springtime. So this could potentially mean they are gearing up for that state of play and for the basically the rollout of advertisement for the game. Probably like pictures on boards, maybe a train or something like that. But it is more than likely we will be getting a state of play focus for Marvel Wolverine and stuff. So I can't wait for that to happen. But of course, I can't blame for some people who believe this announcement for the release date could be a distraction with the whole situation with Blue Point Games. I cannot fault people for thinking that and stuff. And for all we know, it could be true. But regardless of the reason for this random drop, I'm excited for Marvel Wolverine. It's day one. It is 6 days after Phantom Blade Zero and 2 months ahead of freaking GTA 6. So Wolverine and Sonic could breathe easily that they are nowhere near freaking GTA 6, and I cannot wait to get my hands on this. It's gonna be a day one buy. I'm hoping there will be a collector's edition for it and maybe a custom controller, because I will buy that with the instant. But with that being said, I'm gonna end off this video. So what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for the official release date for Marvel Wolverine? Are you curious what will be the future plans when it comes to Marvel, Xbox new CEO, and what kind of stuff that she's planning to do for the company? Or are you gonna try out Marathon or Horizon Hunters Gathering? Let me know in the comments below. This is Storm, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.